love to go wheeling, whether it's in the mountains, on the rocks, playing in the sand, the mud, or the snow. Our bags are packed and we're ready to hit the trail. We get a chance to film the best off-road events in the country with some of the best riders in the world. These guys push their machines to the limit, but sometimes the terrain wins. These creative engineers are going to show you how they fix it on the trail to get it home and ready to ride again. Gears, Rocks, and Wrenches has been brought to you by Canati Tires, quality performance tires.
We don't really.
This is Russ. He's from Notch Customs and Moab Outfitters. I'm Brian. I'm from JCR Offroad and Victory 4x4. I'm out of Michigan. He's out of Utah. He's been on these trails since he's about 6 years old, and we hooked up with him probably 7 or 8 years ago, and we've kind of become really good friends. And every time we come to town, he's more than willing to come and get us into some trouble. So we're kind of a mix of Michigan people and Utah people. So yeah, Michigan people are nicer than the Utah people.
Yeah.
I don't actually think you can say that. I know Midwest people are really nice, but Utah people are super nice. So we're a little early for Easter Jeep Safari, so our goal this week early is we can beat all the rush onto the trails. We map all of our trail plans out around the Easter Jeep Safari group so that we can get on the trails and not have to wait for 70, 80, 90 vehicles to pass because they get right away no matter what, which kind of stinks. So we'll hit this today, and then from there we'll see who survives.
Let's go bust some shots.
Yeah, so this trail is south of town, Flatiron Mesa. It's probably about 7 or 8 miles out of town, probably. And then it'll start kind of at a plateau on the mesa, I guess. And then from there we drop in, and then we start doing some of the obstacles. Some of the big obstacles are the chute, where Pete smashed his windshield on a tree, and he's coming for redemption on that. So,
Stay left.
Intimidator. So when we get to Intimidator, it's pretty much you're coming around this rock face, and you're on a really tight trail, and it's a complete drop off on the right. It is kind of intimidating, but it's really not.
You're gonna like that.
You're gonna love it. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever. All passengers can't see a thing, except for the bottom of it. The bottom of it. And it'll probably take us, in the size group, it'll probably take us 6 or 7 hours, maybe hours to get through.
How you doing? Russ Bartholomew. It's my wife Jocelyn. We drive a 2008 Jeep Wrangler. It's her Jeep. It's got a lot of upgrades. So we're the owners of Moab Outfitters and Notch Customs.
Sounds like you're running with a lot of horsepower.
A little bit, yeah. Got a V8 under the hood, so a little bit more than stock.
So what's your strategy on this hill climb right here?
So this one's a nice one because you actually get to wet the tires a little bit before you climb the hill, so it's going to add a little bit more difficulty to it. Get to go through a little mud puddle. Basically, it's kind of a momentum hill. You need a little bit of momentum to get past 2 ledges that you're going to hit with the front and back axles at the same time. So, doesn't mean we're going to make it, but we're going to give it a shot.
Now, is this one where having horsepower really helps you on an obstacle like this, or does it hurt you?
Definitely, we're going to say horsepower always helps, but we'll see. Driving for a lot of years hopefully maybe helps a little bit more than the horsepower.
So one of the obstacles on this trail is called the chute, and it is a pretty aggressive one. When you lead into it, the bypass, it doesn't really look like a bypass, so once you're in the chute, you're kind of stuck unless you want to go all the way back down. It's kind of a off-camber rock climb up, and then once you get up to the top, there is a steep ledge that you kind of have to launch your vehicle through. One of our friends, Pete, a few years back, we were trying to tell him to stay off to the side, and so we were telling him, It's got to stay over by the tree. You got to stay over by the tree because there was a tree limb that kind of hung over, and he ran up that thing and cracked windshield right into that tree. Smashed his windshield out, and so the joke forever has been, the tree is the line, the tree is the line. Ha ha ha. So today is a little different. The trails are wet, so it's going to be a little more difficult. When they're dry, you can usually climb up, but it's a little moist out here for Easter Jeep Safari, surprisingly.
The tree's the line. Just left of the tree is the line, so we'll see. I've heard about it a lot today. I might have done a little body damage a few years back on this trail.
It depends on the obstacle. Sometimes, like we ran the chute today, my wheelbase didn't line up as long as like some of the others, so I had to kind of carry a little momentum, and I think they got pictures with my front tires about 18 inches off the ground at the top, but it was that one you had to be aggressive just to make it up and out. It was really slippery today. Normally I'm pretty conservative. I don't like to break things, so I like to crawl, but when you have to do what you have to do to get up it, you have to do what you have to do. So.
Strategy right here.
Right now, wait till they move out of my way so I can keep going.
Is it just to crawl it, or do you think you're gonna have to bump it right here any?
I think I'll just walk out of it. Where I'm parked right now, I'll just walk out of it.
Are you locked your differentials?
No lockers yet. I haven't needed them yet, so.
You have them? You just haven't used them?
I haven't needed them yet.
Hi, my name is Daryl Hudson. I'm Vice President of JCR Offroad. I'm driving our 05 stretched LJ that we call Project Ascender. This is our first time wheeling with the LS swap that we did, just a mild 5.3 with a cam. It's got the factory 6-speed, an Atlas, Terraflex Dana 60s, and then a Rock Crawler Pro Stretch coilover. Feels good. A little slippery, so we had to give it the gas pedal, but nothing wrong. It's still good.
Canati Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Canati Tires.
So 2018 Jeep JL Rubicon. We picked this up in early 2018. It was one of the first ones in the state of Michigan, and we built all of our production parts off of this. We've gone several different revisions of this thing to get it to where it is now. Wheeled it a handful of times. We've been joking about it lately, but it only has 7,000 miles on it. We hardly ever drive it. We just do trails with it. So we refreshed it up for this trip, put some 39-inch Canatis on it, some Dana 60s, and a long arm kit from Terraflex. Some new production parts that we will be launching soon. Otherwise, yeah, it's ready to roll. So at JCR Offroad, we are a manufacturer. We build everything in the United States. We actually build everything in Michigan. All we do is build Jeep and Toyota parts and armor, accessories, skid plates, sliders, bumpers, that kind of stuff. So this is a good time for us to get out here and kind of test and tune, beat on our product a little bit, kind of see if it holds up so that it holds up for the customer in the end. This is probably a 7th or 8th year that we've been out here to do this kind of stuff, beat on the Jeeps, have a little fun, get lost, not work. You know how it goes. So today's the first day of a 4-day trip for all of us. We come out here usually around Easter Jeep Safari. We try to get here a little early so that we can get to the trails before all the crowds get here. This year's kind of an exception. We don't really know what to expect with all the restrictions and whatnot. We don't know how big the groups are going to be here in Moab, but we're expecting it to be normal or maybe a little bit bigger than normal. So we came out a little early. We're doing 4 days. We're going to run 4 different trails. We're kind of doing the quintessential Moab trails. So we bring new people out. Those are the ones that we want to show them so that they can kind of have an idea of what Moab has to offer, and we're kind of doing different terrain on each day. Flatiron Mesa. It's a difficult trail. It's the south of town. It's been a fun one. A couple of the trail spots on it take some nerve, I guess, to run the trail. There's some difficult spots. There's some intimidating spots. There's a trail called Intimidator. But mostly it's just it's a great trail with the LaSalle's in the background, so you can really see some beautiful scenery. And it's kind of like nothing else in Moab. You got red rock, you've got brush, you've got mesa, you've got dirt. So it's kind of a unique spot. You can also get out into some of these little 2-tracks areas and pick up some speed and really kind of romp through. It's a lot of fun as well. So we're all a bunch of enthusiasts. So this is what we do. This is our hobby. It started as a hobby. It grew into a business, but we still have that passion to get out here and play when we can. We actually make it out on trails more than we have in the past, which is kind of good. We usually do about 4 or 5 trips a year. You know, coming from Michigan across country, it's a long haul, but we make sure we get it done. And we keep meeting new friends, bringing new people out, introducing them to this stuff. It's a good thing to do. It's a lot of fun.
That to me, Russ.
What's that great, G?
Want me to
give her a little
tap?
A love tap.
Yeah.
So our group kind of consists of 2 different things. We have the guys from Michigan that we all came out, and that is several different families that came out and a couple of extra employees and their family as well. And then we also have a friend, Russ, who runs Moab Outfitters and Notch Customs. We hooked up with him probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago. Asked him, hey, can you show us around in Moab? And we pretty much become the best of friends at this point. So anytime we ever come west, Russ always meets us, and we always do trails, whether it's here in Moab or in Colorado or in Arizona or wherever we're going. He's usually there. And when we come to Utah, because it's not too far from where they're at, up near Salt Lake, they usually bring down 4, 5, 6 Jeeps with them, and we just kind of mingle together and hit the trails.
kind of nervous at first, but it's always like that. You don't really get over that feeling until you're through the obstacle. And even then, you're still a little shaky and kind of surprised with yourself, but overall, it's a rewarding feeling.
Flatiron's it's further south of Moab, so it's not as popular of a trail as far as just because it's a little further out. So you will get a little bit less traffic out here, which is kind of nice. This is our way of social distancing. So.
Wasn't what everybody was expecting, but...
So that was Easter Egg Hill. At one point, you used to have the large rock that would be on your passenger side, and there was another one on the left, and you had to wedge, and it wanted to roll you into the large rock. So it was a really tough way to get through, but obviously things have changed over the last couple of years. Boulders have moved, and now it's kind of easy.
All right, so just up the trail, we've got the Intimidator coming up. So it's really scary if you're in that seat.
Oh.
Because you're on the cliffside.
I'm getting out.
The Intimidator is just about wide enough for a Jeep, maybe not, and on your right side is a canyon, and there's a point where you have to make a left-hand turn around a big rock that kind of pokes out there, so it's spooky. I'm from flatlands. We don't have anything bigger than a 2,000-foot mountain in Michigan, so it's very intimidating to me to be right there on those rocks. I've gotten better at those fears, but the steep drop-offs kind of bother me. So I was okay going around it, but I just had to be very careful and gentle with the gas pedal and work my way around, and that it can get your heart rate going.
So today's ride, it was a good ride. A lot of the obstacles have changed since we started doing this about 20 years ago. Some of the obstacles are a little bit more difficult, and other ones have had enough traffic that they're really not as much of an obstacle. But for the most part, it's still fun. Still have a good group. Nobody damaged today. So.
That's not the line. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Keep your feet in. No!
Next week on Gears, Rocks, and Wrenches, we're heading to the East Coast to ride with the crew from Scorpion Off-Road Concepts on the Southern Journey presented by Canati Tires.